Welcome to Tiara Talks Food. I'm Tiara, and if we're just meeting for the first time, welcome. I'm a nutrition educator as well as a person living with diabetes, but most importantly, I'm just the girl who loves to cook. And tonight I'm going to show you what I do when I do not feel like using a recipe and I don't feel like going out to eat or spending money on food or going to the grocery store. I'm going to use what I have on hand. And tonight I'm making a delicious dish that I've made before, but I'm going to show you how to do it. And that is my tomato coconut curry with shrimp and fish, as well as some of my favorite vegetables, herbs, and spices. And I'm going to put it over a nice fluffy bed of white rice. Now, when you are making things on hand, I think it's really important to really kind of survey your pantry. Like, what do you have? So for me, I knew I had tomatoes, I had shrimp, I had fish, I had jalapenos, I had peppers and onions. I also had some curry powder, some paprika. So a lot of my favorite things that go into this dish. And I knew that, great, I have a meal that is just ready to be made. And I think you also have the same thing. So we're gonna get started with the rice. So I'm just gonna cook the rice first, and that way it's already done into the side. And then I'm gonna focus on everything else. So the shrimp and the fish and the tomato and the coconut milk, all of that really good stuff. And all of that's gonna cook in one pot. So this is also a meal that is really easy to make. It's relatively one pan, other than the rice, but it's gonna be easy to clean up. So if you are short on time, or if you are just, you know that you need something quick, or else you know that you are going to be on your phone ordering something from DoorDash, in that time that you can be ordering out, you could make this dish and have it ready in about 30 minutes or so. So let's get started. So I'm starting out with some olive oil. I'm gonna put some olive oil in my pan and let it heat up over a medium to medium-high heat. Now, you can use any kind of oil you have on hand, so that's canola oil, vegetable, grapeseed, avocado, that's fine. You can also use Pam spray if you like. Next, I'm going to season my fish. I'm using Swai Fillet, but you can use any other kind of white fish that you have on hand as well. So that's tilapia, other types of catfish, whatever. You can use that for this dish and it will work just fine. And then you want to make sure that you season nicely with salt and pepper on top of the fish. And after this, I'm going to get to work on my vegetables. So I'm going to add some red bell peppers. And I love peppers because I just love the smell they give off, especially when sauteed with some onions. And I'm also using green bell peppers. Again, these are vegetables that I just had hanging around in my fridge, and as well as some onions. And also I ended up adding some garlic cloves, just a couple, like 2 or 3, and some jalapeno. And the jalapeno can be added without the seeds for less heat. And you can use any other kind of vegetables that you think will be great with this dish. These are just the vegetables I had on hand. But whatever you do, decide, make sure you are seasoning with salt and pepper at every stage, and continue to cook over medium to medium-high heat, because you don't want any part of this dish to be bland. You want this to have all the flavor. See, look at that. And this smells amazing already, just like this. So after I finish stirring all this together, making sure that it's nice and coated in the oil, I'm gonna start adding my tomato sauce. And I'm using petite diced tomatoes from a can with juices and everything. And this is much easier than trying to dice up a few tomatoes and throwing it to this dish. I really love the ripeness that comes from canned tomatoes. So, and it's less expensive and it's easy to use. So I'm putting some in here, and then I'm gonna stir it in. And I've already also added some salt and pepper at this point to the tomatoes here. And after I incorporate the tomato sauce into the vegetables, it's time to add another key part of this dish. And that's gonna be the coconut milk. So I'm using full fat coconut milk here, but you can use low fat if that's what you prefer. Coconut milk is such a great thing to keep on hand because it adds just a bunch of flavor, and it can go with pretty much almost any dish. And after I finish adding it, I'm going to just stir in, making sure that the coconut milk blends in nicely with the tomatoes and the other vegetables, making sure that this sauce is nice and smooth before I start adding some of my spices. So as far as spices are concerned, I am using some of my favorite ones that I'm pretty sure you also have on hand too. So like paprika, garlic powder. I love garlic, so I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons here. And I'm going to add thyme. Thyme is just a delicious herb that goes really well with pretty much anything. It's just amazing. And other than thyme, I'm going to add in some cayenne pepper and chili powder. And when you add the cayenne pepper is like completely optional here. It's pretty spicy, so if you don't want to add it, that's fine. And of course, curry powder. Curry powder is one of the main ingredients of this dish, so I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons here. Curry powder goes a long way. And it's also a type of spice that I always keep on hand for moments like this. And after that, I'm going to tuck in my fish inside of the sauce. I want the fish to kind of cook and be poached in this delicious sauce along with the shrimp. So I'm adding some large shrimp, and I'm still keeping the heat over medium-high heat. And then I'm going to make sure that the shrimp is pretty much in the sauce before I cover it. So I'm going to cover it and cook it for about 10 minutes or so. And then once it's done, it's going to look just like this. So you can see how great that looks, how pink the shrimp is. You can tell that it's been cooking for a little bit. Look how great that sauce looks. Just looks amazing. Look at that fish. And the fish and the shrimp, they have all of those flavors that I added in earlier. So I'm really excited to eat it at this point. So I'm going to plate with my rice and start to add some of the stew that I just made. You can still see that the peppers have their color. The shrimp is nice and pink. Get a bit of that fish. We're going to pour some of that sauce on top. Look at that. That looks so good. Yeah. I'm like super hungry. I'm going to add some more shrimp to it. And after this, I'm going to garnish with some cilantro. I love cilantro because it goes really well with curries and stews. It really gives it a nice bit of freshness. So add that if you like. And there you have it. My tomato coconut curry with shrimp and fish. Now, wasn't that easy? And then doesn't it look delicious? I can't wait to start digging into this. I'm gonna go grab a glass of wine. And I also have some bread that I made earlier today. I used my Curtis Stone bread maker, which I got as a Christmas gift, and I love it. And I used it to make some brioche bread that I'm gonna slice to the side to have with this meal. And I hope that you took something valuable from here. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this with your friends, and then let me know what else you would like to see. I definitely plan on doing more videos. I guess let's call them like on-hand videos or something. I'll come up with a name for it, where I show you how to make great dishes, no recipe needed. You have everything that you need. You just have to trust yourself and understand what flavors you like. But that's okay, because I'll show you how to do that. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And check out my show, Soul Cravings, a cooking show for people with diabetes. It's available on My Diabetes TV, which is free on all devices.